Oh yeah, look at that. That's pretty nasty. Well, I sold the Jeep. What happens when you sell the Jeep? You get some extra money in your pocket. And what happens if you're someone like me that has extra money in their pocket and they have an addiction to Facebook Marketplace? Well, if you're like me, it doesn't take you long to find something else to go grab. So yeah, I got the trailer hooked up to go get something else. I've got it all prepped. I got a new tire on one and checked some things because I got about a 3-hour journey to west of Austin from my house to go pick up something else. Now, is it a project or is it not a project? I don't know. Is it something you guys are gonna like or are you not gonna like it? I don't know that either. Am I gonna like it? I think I'm gonna like it, but I've never had one before. So this is kind of a new uncharted territory, but it's a pretty neat vehicle. We'll just call it a vehicle. Hopefully I haven't given it away in the thumbnail, but I'm ready to go get in the truck and get some miles underneath me today to go grab this thing. So come along with me. Let's figure out what it is. Now's the time to put your guesses in the comments. And you can guess in generalities because I'm just curious what you guys think I would be picking up, just like based off of my personality. I'm curious to think, what would Ryan buy? What would Racer X like next? Let me know. But yeah, let's get the truck running, get the last couple things loaded up. Let's get on the road to go grab this thing. Before we roll, I want to point out how nice the daily is, the tow rig. In case you guys haven't seen it in a while, I've had it ceramic coated and paint corrected. Just kind of got it back from the car wash, and I got some new to me Forge Star wheels and Michelin tires on it, which were a big upgrade because the old ones they needed to be replaced. And I love these things, but I don't remember off the top of my head what model the wheels are. So if I remember it, I'll put it in the video. But woo, she's looking good. She's looking good. All right, let's get on the road. Okay, so on the way. Let's talk about this a little bit. I feel I'm buying this vehicle for a pretty darn good price, if there's nothing wrong with it. So why do I say that? Well, the ads was kind of basic and it said runs, drives good, just needs gaskets changed. I asked them, I was like, I saw your ad, I'm interested in it. You said it needs gaskets changed, does it leak oil? And they said no, it doesn't leak oil. And I was like, oh, then what gaskets does it need changed? They told me, well, it needs a head gasket changed. And I was like, oh, so it overheats? They said no, it does not overheat. Oh, so it leaks? Does it leak water out? No, it does not leak water out. So then I asked them back. I was like, well, how do y'all know it needs a gasket change then? So she said, you know what? I have no idea. Ask my husband. So I called the husband, and the husband was a very nice guy, and he told me the exact same things. So I asked him, I was like, why do you think it has a blown head gasket then? He says, well, I took it to a mechanic not too long ago, and the mechanic was very interested in the vehicle, and he thought that he may even buy it for his son. And after he expressed interest, he told me it had a blown head gasket, that there was oil in the coolant. And I said that as intended, oil in the coolant. And if you watch this channel and you work on cars, you're probably pretty aware that, well, it's usually the other way around, that there's coolant in the oil. So he thinks it's a little suspicious, but he wanted to be open and honest with me, tell me what the mechanic said. So I am gambling a little bit. I've already sent him an offer. Here's the thing, I'm buying this thing sight unseen, with the caveat that I need to check and see and make sure it doesn't have a blown head gasket. But the guy seems honest. I'm an honest guy. I just sold the Jeep a little bit ago, and the guy I sold it to was an honest guy, and I was an honest guy to him, and that was a really good transaction. So we'll see what happens. I got quite a bit of traveling to do, so we'll get after it. And well, you know, we're sitting in traffic for a little bit right now, but I'll give you an update when we get there. I don't know if I'm going to do any of the investigative stuff on camera, because some people aren't comfortable with it, and I'm not exactly comfortable with asking people that I don't know if they want to be on my little YouTube channel. It's just, I'll just put that out there. But I will definitely give you an update and at least try to film loading the vehicle so y'all know what it is. Let's make some miles. All right, are y'all ready? You ready? Bam! 2003 GMC Silverado, or no, Sierra, sorry. And it's not as clean as I thought it was. Talked to the guy a little bit, renegotiated the price a little bit. Wasn't real happy about it, but it didn't want to start. It needs a battery. When they hooked the jumper up to it, he had to give it a decent amount of gas to get it running. So it may have an initial fuel delivery problem or something like that, but it's got some problems. Not big problems. I'm sure we can figure it out. He thinks it's just the battery, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it on the trailer, and we're going to go straight to a parts store or a Walmart, and we're going to grab a battery, throw a battery in it, and see how it works out from there. So, but it's mine. It's mine now. It is a 4.3. But what's cool about it is it only has 74,000 miles. AC is working, which is great. Interior is very, very clean, sans the headliner and this seat. So I've got some cleaning to do on it. The body, like the color's beautiful, but it needs to be buffed really bad. But in pictures, it looks great. Tail lights replaced, headlights replaced, that kind of thing will really make this thing pop. And I think this project will be perfect for basically a re-clean, you know, get it all cleaned up and stuff like that. The hood is missing some paint, and the roof, which is typical for the GM stuff from the 2000s. So let me get it on the trailer, get it all strapped down, and then we'll go from there. We're leaving it here. Yeah, we're gonna have to leave it right there because I tried to drive it on the trailer and the battery is flat dead. So I told the nice people in the gas station that I'm going to get a battery because it won't even take a charge. That thing is dead. So let me go get a battery so I can at least get it on the trailer and get it home. So here we go. Good news, it's still there. I don't know if y'all can see, it's over there somewhere. And that's good news. I have the battery. Was not expecting to have to do all this, but hope is not lost. I don't know. We're gonna get this thing home. Let me get this battery in it and see if that makes it run a little better or start a little better or some of that stuff. At the minimum, I'm pretty sure it's going to get me on the trailer, and that's what I'm after right now. So these things, they're a little fun. By myself, it's not so much fun because I was a little nervous leaving that thing here. Not because anyone's going to steal it. Obviously, there's no battery in it, but it could get towed, and that would be less than ideal if it got towed. So, especially since it's not in my name yet, and I don't have insurance on it yet, and you know, there's a lot of things that could happen there. So, all right, let me see if I can go ahead and get this thing figured out. All right. This battery tray has seen better days, and there's no hold down. Let me get my channel locks, also known as my 8mm socket, same thing, and get the new battery hooked up. If nothing, this will be a good memory of the truck once we get it running, right? Oh, registration of 2022. This thing ain't been on the road in a while. This is the longest battery hookup ever. Okay, now let's see what we got. All right, it's got a startup problem, but I think we can fix all that. But now it's running. Let me get the ramps out, get it on the trailer. Well, we're no longer in a parking lot in Leander, Texas. We're back in Magnolia, Texas, northwest of Houston. And we're home. Got home last night, no problems. It was super, super dark, so there wasn't much I could film on the trip home. Nothing worth of interest, and I cannonballed all the way home. So didn't make any stops, so just got here. Let's pull it off the trailer. I need to get it registered and inspected. In Texas, you no longer have safety inspections, but if a vehicle's under 25 years old, you still have to have an emissions inspection if you live in a county with a density population that's pretty high. I do. I live in what's called Montgomery County, so that means, yeah, I have a pretty dense area population. So I need to get some miles on this thing though, because I've had the battery disconnected and it's had a battery problem probably for years. It needs to go through a bunch of cycles. So I'm going to have to get some insurance on it, get my paperwork kind of figured out, and then we'll kind of go from there. Now, I did want to see how it cold starts. Got the battery hooked up now. But let's see what we're working with. I bet this gas is old too. All right. One thing that I was trying not to do is touch the gas. On a fuel injected vehicle, you shouldn't really have to touch the gas to get started. Stock. If you've got some modified thing, I don't know, but typically you shouldn't have to touch the gas. It should be able to start okay. The idle's a little rough, but it's smoothing out now. Good oil pressure. Not really making a whole bunch of noise to be concerned about. See, inside of it, we're missing a rear view mirror, so I'll have to look into that. The headliner's not great, but everything else is pretty darn clean in here, and I think I can even get it steam cleaned better. Need some floor mats so I don't mess up the floors. It's got a little radio here. Doesn't look fancy. It's a compact disc. That's a CD for those that may have never heard of one. It probably doesn't have Bluetooth. This is probably an older system here, but we might be able to get it hooked up to this. So we'll see on that. Let's do what we do in Texas and get this AC cranking. And it does crank pretty good. That's nice and cold already, so I'm not worried about that, which is a huge relief. Huge relief. I did kind of test it yesterday, but I didn't in the truck to test it. So, all right, let's back this thing off the trailer. But not bad so far. I'm liking it. It's nice and quiet. Manual door locks and windows, which I kind of like. It's good race truck stuff, right? Are we going there with this? I don't know. But yeah, it's got a bed liner in it. I need to get underneath it because it's quite dirty, and I'd like to clean all that out and see what that looks like. It doesn't look like it's too hard to do that. And overall, not a bad little truck. It's home. And this will be its new home for a little while. And I'm pretty excited to check it out. So, a little rough around the edges, but we're gonna get it going. Oh boy, I've stepped in it this time. I stepped in it pretty good. The impulse buy here on this GMC, it's getting a little interesting. So I went to fix a small leak from thermostat housing because there's some corrosion on the bottom down here that was leaking. So I pulled the hose off. It's pretty nasty. Well, then I went ahead and drained out all that I could drain. And it looks like this. Yeah, that's coolant. Now, I don't know if you guys can see that on camera. It separates into sediment and water. So the original complaint from the owner was that the mechanic told him that there was oil in the coolant. Typically, it's the other way around if there's a major issue, which would make a milkshake, textbook blown head gasket symptom. Sometimes some vehicles can push oil into the coolant system, but it froths up and it's like almost peanut butter. So it does the same thing the other way around. You can do that probably from like a cracked block or something to that extent. So here's what we're thinking. One, the mechanic that looked at this truck that decided he liked it and wanted it for his son, it's very possible that he put some oil in it. He said, watch this, let's try to get this truck for cheap and I'll put some oil in the cooling system. Another idea is this could actually not be oil. And more that I let it sit here, I'm wondering if that's the case. The thing is, this is not coolant. This is water with something very, very dirty. And at first I was thinking it was oil. But the way it separates and looks like sediment, I don't think that's oil. I think that this thing has the coolant drained out of it at some point in time. And they put water back in it, and water's been sitting for a while. And it could be this nasty, just sitting junk that has just sat in the block and the radiator for a long time and kind of turned the water black and created that sediment. Either way, I don't think it's a head gasket. I don't think it's a cracked block. We talked at it for length, and I think we're on the same page with that. So what I'm going to do is I've got it all torn down right now so I can fix the leak there. I was going to buy a radiator, but there's no oil cooler in this radiator. So oil passing through the radiator into the the oil cooler passing through into the radiator mixing with that is not a possibility. And it does have transmission lines in the radiator, but those transmission lines, the transmission fluid is not low and it's red. And that would create like strawberry milkshake. So I literally think that this has just been put in the coolant system for whatever reason, and it sat. This truck has 74,000 miles on it, and it hasn't, that's for 2003 to 2025, that's like 3,000 miles a year. Not only that, the last time it was registered, before I registered it, was 2022. So my plan is to flush this thing out the best as I can. I'm going to flush the radiator. I'm going to flush the engine. I'm going to flush the heater core. I'm going to try to get it all flushed out as much as I can. And put some more water into it. Probably some antifreeze as well. And then we're going to pressure test everything. And if everything is pressure tested well, the next part we'll do is we'll drive it around a bit and check for combustion in the coolant, which I don't think there is because it doesn't overheat. Let me throw a hose down there and see what comes out. Oh yeah, look at that. That's pretty nasty. Oh yeah. I've never seen nothing like that ever. That is so wild. I got a lot of flushing to do when this is all done. Now I'm gonna sit here and let this rinse out. This ain't oil. This is not oil. Check this out. Hopefully you guys can see this. Where can I find some place? If you look at it, see how we can pull that up? Look at my finger. It's just sediment. There's just some kind of weird sediment in it. If this were oil, we'd be having a whole lot more of an issue here than we are. Well, good morning. So got some news this morning. I think it's good news. I don't think we have a blown head gasket now. And I think I've verified that this morning, because this morning it is currently 10:29, and at 8:45 this morning I hooked up a pressure tester to the coolant system, and I pumped it up to 16 psi, and it's almost 2 hours in, and we're still at 16 psi. Now, to give an update of what I did yesterday, because I just didn't want to bore you guys, I flushed and flushed and flushed. And I flushed the radiator, and I flushed the engine, and I flushed the heater core, and I replaced these radiator hoses, lower and upper. I didn't replace the heater hoses, which I probably should do eventually, because I think I know what's wrong. First of all, look at this. This is the remnants that has been sitting overnight, and you can see a little bit of the orange oily stuff on top, and there's still black sediment in it everywhere. Then, if we come over here, I have my old hoses here. Oh, did I leave the water on? I did. That happens. It happens. But we cut this guy open. We can see all that orange flake and fun stuff in there. And just the way they feel, what I'm learning online, or at least my research this morning, shows me that Dexcool is pretty nasty stuff once it gets old. So, I think my theory is Dexcool has been in this thing for a long time. I kind of want to call this truck lack, because it's literally lack of maintenance on this truck. I think it's been eating at, one, corrosion, some of the block, stuff like that. Two, it's been eating the rubber away on the hoses. It seems like it's happened before. I've read a couple articles, a lot of online researching and stuff like that. But changed all the fluid, flushed it all, coolant tested it this morning, and we're still good. If we had a blown head gasket, this would have went down by now. and it has not. A little cheap, not too cheap. It was on sale. Harbor Freight had the pressure tester on sale, so I decided it's time to buy one. But I can come over here and show you guys that there's, well, that's all I can compress the upper radiator hose. So I also put a 170 degree thermostat in it, put the new arm on because that was what was leaking before, or thermostat housing. And now I think I'm going to do the rest of the maintenance on it. I'm going to go get a belt. I don't know how old this guy is, and this guy's making noise. I'm going to go get a idler pulley as well while we're at it. So, and then I'm going to put it all back together, and I'm going to save you guys that because I'm going to change the oil on it too. And hopefully we can do today what I had planned to do is kind of church this thing up for about $250. That was the original intent. So we're going to see if we can do that. I don't know if we're going to end off the video here with the maintenance and then do that on another video. You guys will find out here shortly. But we're on the right track. I'm feeling much better about this whole situation. So, yeah. Fun stuff. What do you think we should call this truck? Because I don't really have a name other than lack of maintenance. I put this tester on at 8:45 like I told you a little while ago. We are now at 1 p.m. after lunch and some wrenching and everything's back together. Let's see where we're at. We are still right at 16 pounds. So there's no way after 4 hours and 15 minutes this thing is leaking. So I'm pretty 99% confident there's no head gasket leak. So that's awesome. I'm going to throw some water wetter in it, get it started, let it run for a little bit. Here we go. There goes all the pressure. So I just have water in it now, and I'm going to run water throughout the week, and then next weekend I'm going to flush it again and then put coolant in it. Because I'm sure it's going to still come out nasty. Probably not near as nasty, but it's going to come out nasty. But yeah, I think we're on to something. Nice and quiet, fixed the belt. I put a tensioner on it and an idler pulley on it. That don't make no more noise. That's good. I started the truck at 4:08. It's now 4:28, if you can see that. And not only is it not overheating, it responded to my thermostat change because it had a 195 degree thermostat in it before. I put a 170 degree in it, and you can see down there it's hanging out. It has not moved ever since it got up to temp. I do have a check engine light on, but that's because I left the mass air unplugged. That was my fault. It's plugged in now. I'm going to call this good. It sounds great inside and outside, and it's a very hot, humid day today down here. And I'm starting to appreciate working in the shop much more with a fan and shade and all that stuff. But listen to it if you can with my microphone. But it's quiet, no knocking, no chattering. The oil looked great. There was no metal in it. I'm glad to have an oil change on it now. I do need to check that and make sure I've got the level right. It said 4.5 quarts. I put 5 in it because you know, oil filter. Definitely not a speed demon, but everything just kind of worked as it should. I think this is going to be a good service tune-up, clean-up, kind of, you know, do it justice, bring it back to life, bring it back to some kind of normalcy, or, you know, a standard that me and my my friends would, you know, be impressed with. So, not bad. I can definitely drive this thing around, and that was kind of the intention to buy it, to keep some miles off of my truck, my daily driver, my Ford. It's pretty cool. This thing, like, it's kind of hard to explain, but parking it right there just proved my point. I love my F-150, and it's just an F-150 half-ton truck, but it's so large that, you know, these trucks have outgrown parking spaces. And mine's a 2018, and I have to back it in everywhere because that's the only way that I can get the turning radius in to get in the center of a parking spot. So like having a rear view camera and stuff is really cool. And it makes sense that they have them because those things are so difficult to park, and having the Jeep really taught me a lesson on how beneficial being able to get in and out of parking spaces and moving stuff around is. So yeah, all right, I'm gonna go in here and grab this, and we'll go from there. This thing is not skipping a beat. I don't even know if y'all can hear that, it's so quiet, but it fires up immediately now. So I think we did confirm that the owner was right. It was just a battery issue. So far, I bought some seafoam to put in it. It needs a little bit more gas before I put it in there. I do like to dilute it, but not a whole lot. So we're gonna throw some gas in it here up in a minute. I'm gonna go get lunch, and then I'll report back. Little GMC that could, you know, lack. That's all I got. See what you guys want to call it. And this will probably be my summer cruiser. So we'll have some fun with it. And maybe got some plans for some stuff in the future. I do have an aluminum 5.3, and they fit in this truck real well because they came from this truck. So we'll see. But that's it. Thanks guys so much for hanging out with me, watching me sweat, making me turn the lemon into something that's going to be hopefully reliable and drivable. I hate to say that out loud because I could have just jinxed myself. It's earned a set of floor mats though, so I'm going to go inside, clean up, and then take it for a drive to go get some floor mats for it from Walmart. They're going to do the trick for now. So thanks so much. If you like this stuff, obviously we have a whole lot more than just this truck. We got the V10 Dakota, the Nova, the Corvette, the Bel Air, the My Dakota, which I may have let it slip. You may have seen some stuff in this video, but I don't know. We'll see how I edit it. So I appreciate you guys so much for checking out the channel and watching this stuff that we do. You guys mean the world to us. If you're new to the channel, you haven't done it yet, please consider subscribing. Just hit the subscribe button. It's free. Maybe even the little like button if you like the videos. It seems to help a lot. You can check us out on social media at Instagram and Facebook at The Racer X Garage. And we got a little bit of merch on our website at racerxgarage.com. Until next time, we'll see ya. Y'all be good.